Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. As we step back into the film room today, we're watching none other than Pittsburgh Steelers rookie linebacker, Payton Wilson. Wilson was one of the linebackers that I covered extensively during the pre-draft process, talking about his athleticism, playmaking ability, and the ability to constantly find the football. So in preseason week 1, he had a very good game. We're going to talk about where he is right now and how he looks as we get ready for the 2024 NFL season. With that being said, let's roll the tape. Now, first play here, we got some good stuff. Payton Wilson in his first NFL snap, although it's preseason, understanding what he's getting downhill and making a tackle. Now, right here, the Texans come out in 21 personnel. They're trying to establish the run early, get CJ Stroud into a rhythm. But once we get this motion from our fullback, Payton Wilson is sniffing this thing out the entire way. Once the ball snaps, he's getting downhill, rips through the tackle. Now, we got to make this tackle. And it's really interesting on how he makes this tackle because the running back tries to cut it back, but Payton Wilson kind of contorting his body a little bit to get into a good angle and wrap up down low. This is good stuff, especially for your first snap. Let's get to the next play. Now, second play here, the Houston Texans come out in a 2x2. They're trying to get into their passing game. Payton Wilson has a zone coverage assignment in the hook right here. But what I really like, although it's a completion by the Houston Texans, I'm looking at Payton Wilson knock CJ Stroud off his first read. Let's see how he gets into that hook zone because now we have our tight end going into the flat and we have our number one receiver. He's coming inside. So Payton Wilson sniffing that out right away, taking away that first read. You see CJ Stroud. He's reluctant to let it go because he understands, okay, that's good coverage. Let me get through my progression, look backside. Then he makes a big time throw because, like I said, he's great. But Payton Wilson taking away that first read, being sound on his assignment, you have to love that in coverage. Now, right here on this third play, I love this because this is what I call really good team football. The defensive line gives Payton Wilson a fast break pass, and all he has to do is make the layup. Understand that we got inside zone to the right here. The defensive line slides to their right, and the offensive line's left. So now this throws off the blocking scheme for the offensive line. And then we're essentially creating a double team on the edge defender in 51. Now, Payton Wilson is running into a wide open C gap. It's me and Dameon Pierce. I'm winning this battle. I'm getting a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Good stuff. Now right here, we got another really good play. At this point, Payton Wilson is putting on a linebacker clinic. This is kind of what we talk about when we say teaching tape. Now, of course, we have another zone run by the Houston Texans. They're in 11 personnel. They got their wide receiver with a tight split, kind of flexed in. But what I want you to see from Payton Wilson is he's getting this fast flow, he still has his eyes on the back and he's still mirroring the back. So once Dameon Pierce tries to cut up the football field, boom, all we have to do is reset our body angle and come down to this open gap. And you saw that kind of in one of those tackles we talked about earlier. Payton Wilson really kind of contorting his body to understand how to kind of dip through some of these gaps, get past these offensive linemen, and get into the backfield. This is kind of that same type of thing that we saw earlier. Understanding, mirror the back, we got an open gap. Okay, let's redirect and still get downhill. This is really good stuff. Now right here, these are one of the plays that kind of tell me how locked in you are as a linebacker. How determined are you to be sound within your assignment? Let's talk about what we get right here from Payton Wilson. So understand, we got a 2x2. We still got 11 personnel, but we got 3 receivers on the football field. So now we get a play action, but understand we got somebody coming across in number 8. Payton Wilson sniffs this out immediately. And understand that we have nobody back there in the flat. That's vacated. Now, this becomes my assignment. I got to haul tail and run with him. Now, number 8 does get a step on Payton Wilson, but still understanding where to be and still in a sound place to make this tackle. I think even if this was a completed pass, you have a chance to make the tackle, get the ball out of the receiver, or you just have a chance to make the tackle and stop the first down. But still, nonetheless, these are one of the plays where you're supposed to get the linebacker outflanked. It's supposed to be a big-time game. Payton Wilson sniffs this out, and he's stopping all of that. Great play, being sound in coverage. Now, right here, we're staying in coverage on this play. And this is something I really want to talk about with Payton Wilson. We get a 2x2 by Houston. And once we look at this, we understand Payton Wilson matched up against this tight end. Let's just let it play, and then we're going to talk about kind of what happens as the play rolls. So we see a good route right here by the tight end, big time completion. One thing I'd like to focus on is Peyton Wilson has all of the athleticism in the world to stick out there with these tight ends, with these running backs in man coverage. But I think because he played so many snaps on the ball at North Carolina State, now as a full-time off-the-ball linebacker, what I saw in this game, he played all of his snaps off the ball, just getting more comfortable, understanding routes, how to cover routes. And I think in zone coverage, it's going to come with time. But when we get these number 2 receivers, if we get matched up on a number 3 receiver in the hook zone, these guys are going to try to shake us because we're linebackers. These are the quick guys who can get shifty, who can get, different types of looks. And that's what we're going to have to focus on getting better at covering. Now right here, this is exactly what I just was talking about. We're not going to spend too much time on this play, but I kind of just want to highlight what I'm talking about when I say if we're in a hook zone, sometimes we're going to be matched up on actual wide receivers. Then they're going to try to shake you. It's just, we know what's coming. But understanding angles, leverage, depending on what the coverage is. Are we going to try to push this guy outside? Are we trying to push him inside? Are we trying to give the quarterback a harder throw and make him put it over the top so our safety can come help? These are the type of questions that you have to ask yourself as the linebacker when covering. But like I said, just getting more comfortable right here, that's going to come with time. And I think once he masters that, then we start talking about a guy who can really dominate as one of the 2 linebackers in nickel formations. Now right here on this final play, how many times have we seen it? One of those wide zone runs. And this is a very, very hard concept to play as a linebacker. But I just want to talk about Peyton Wilson right here. And you can kind of call this a nitpick if you want. But I think this is a good job by the running back, understanding when we get the wide zone, we're pressing the line of scrimmage as hard as we can. Boom, now we put our foot in the dirt and we're getting wide. I think this right here is kind of why we get outflanked as the linebacker, as the edge defender, 49-41. The edge defender kind of gets turned inside a little bit. But I think just looking at this with Peyton Wilson, usually what do we think we'll see? He'll rip through this tackle, he'll get downhill, he's making this tackle at the line of scrimmage. But we get outflanked a little bit because, like I said, it's a hard concept to play. And then at the running back position, we're pressing this line of scrimmage just enough to create that 1 second of hesitation, now buying us some extra time to get outside. It's something really good to talk about, and I just think something that as Peyton Wilson gets more time, he's going to be all over it. He showcased athleticism in this game. He showcased what he can do. He showcased how good he is. Now, the big knock, health. Peyton Wilson has to stay healthy, and hopefully the football guys, we're going to send up those prayers. We can keep Peyton Wilson on the football field. But right now, I think we're looking at the nickel linebacker along with Patrick Queen. And on early downs, you're probably going to see Patrick Queen and Landon Roberts. That's what I'm thinking right now. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. What are your expectations for Peyton Wilson? How good do you think he can be? And what did you think about this game? That's going to do it for today. We'll be back in the film room.